Was there a place in you guys' life where you felt like your family kind of made the transition from what you thought was, oh, you guys are nodding already, I'll just shut
I
up.
would say
I
the
wonder what yours
twins,
is.
right? The twins. When the twins came along is when we made a huge, like, because mom went to the
Yes.
hospital, and that was the first time you implemented like a full chore chart. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do.
And
Oh,
you-
yeah,
you
that
we
was-
all sat around the table.
He threatened
Borderline
to send
nuclear
you to military
moment.
school, I think.
I
was that you or
He was
Patrick?
like, I will shave your head,
Yes.
ship you off. I was like, I just woke up. What did I do?
I remember this.
Why am I going
remember
to
this.
Oklahoma?
He was-
I'll do the dishes. I'm sorry.
I was
So
trying to
true.
prepare them for twins coming home, and so I thought I needed to bring some
you
law
kind
and
of just
order.
made an example of Peter because he usually just like rolls
Oh.
off his shoulders.
I'm
so-
cramping. Oh man, my ribs are cramping.
That is exactly what happened.
Shave your head. Everyone sit around the table. I will shave your head and ship you off to military
In my
school.
PJs with my hair in a mess, toothbrush still in my mouth. I'm like, all right.
If we
Military
don't,
school.
I think it was if we don't start sticking to a chore chart.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
these twins coming home, your mom is out of commission,
Yeah.
Right.
and I ain't doing all the damn chores myself.
Do you remember when they got home? Like, you're sitting on the couch, mom's asleep with the twins, and any seconds of sleep that mom can get are just vital to the family.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you close the door and it's like, you're like,
That was a rough, like, I want to say 4 to 6 weeks of just like
yeah.
tiptoe around a little bit.
Not to mention, like, your reaction to the noises were so much louder than the noises. What are you doing?
It's like I just shut the door.
Mom's awake now.
Yeah.
I need to stretch. I'm still cramping. I'm sorry. Can I just do this for a second?
And
And out.
you're like 10 at the time?
Let's think.
7
How old are
years
the
ago?
twins?
We're-
7? So
yeah.
I would have been 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, 12 going to military
Perfect
school.
age for military school.
It was an empty threat. I wouldn't have done it, most likely.
No, because then we
Right.
left and we were all like, "There's no way mom would let him send us."
We're not gonna
So
go. We're
like
not
we
gonna-
knew there was a 0% chance.
Oh,
that
we
that
all
was gonna
hide when he
happen,
gets
but,
You guys
like,
had a
he's
conversation
not shaving
after.
anybody's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah.
I sat him around the dining room table.
Yep.
And we said, we're having a family meeting here. That might have been our first family meeting.
Yep.
Not according to the agenda of Welder family.
That's a great start, right?
Oh, man.
The
But I didn't know
first
what to
Welder
do. I was
family.
scared about bringing these twins home. I was like, this house is already out of control.
Yeah.
But you had 10 kids already at that point, right? They're 11 and
Yeah.
12,
Yeah.
but twins is a different
It
deal.
is, yeah.
Yeah.
And the oldest, how old was Aiden then?
Aiden
7 years
was-
ago, 8 years ago almost.
16.
15.
I remember he just got his
Yeah,
driver's
15,
license,
16.
and so that was
Yeah.
kind of a game changer too.
Right.
Having kids that could also leave,
So is
run
that
errands, and
right? Is that the moment that you would have picked out, or you got a different?
I had a different one.
Okay.
It's definitely very close in that couple years. I was gonna say when Aiden and I started college classes at Belmont Abbey, and that was probably the year after the twins were born. When we were 16 and 17, we did dual enrollment in high school, and that was kind of because we were all homeschooled. It was the first time that mom really had anyone out of the house, so just family members that weren't like in her direct line of sight, I guess. And I think that's a little bit of a game changer. Like for the first time, we had jobs, we had cars, even just like going to and from friends' houses. It's just that's definitely a shift, I think, especially if you've been homeschooled, because mom's then adjusting to like, okay, I have kids that are sort of running their own lives a little bit. And so then also managing expectations of like, okay, just because you have a car doesn't mean you can just up and go all the time. But I think it just shifted the dynamics a lot. And even just us being able to help out more with like even just running to the grocery store to grab a gallon of milk is like a huge help. It means you don't have to put 12 kids in the car to go get milk,
That's huge.
It's massive. Or even, something bigger like dropping someone off at, baseball practice or homeschool co-op once a week. I think it kind of lifted a big weight off my mom's shoulders, even though again, an example of like adding a layer of complexity of like, they're not all in my line of sight, but it brought simplicity because she was able to kind of delegate in a more profound way, I guess. So I was going to say that when we started driving and when we started Belmont Abbey classes.
Which is around about the same time.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
within 2 years.
Mhm, yeah.
So yeah, that was definitely a
Definitely.
formative time period in the Gallagher household.
Mm-hmm.
So
And for you guys who are older, was that satisfying for you too to be able to like help and make things run smoother, or I'm sure it wasn't
Yeah.
just that.
Yes, I think so. And I think even like every kid complains about chores and stuff, but we were very happy to be able to contribute in a way that was like our own. And helping out with the kids didn't just have to be, doing dishes or whatever at the house. It could be running an errand for mom. It also kind of gave us a little bit of an outlet, I guess.
Get out of the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, just getting to go and pick up a gallon of milk. Like
Yeah,
most kids might see that as like a big like pain in the butt or whatever. But I think we also saw it as like, oh great, and I'll also take one of the little kids with me. I'll take the 4-year-old and get them out of the house if that'll help you out, and so we were able to help out in a way that wasn't a burden to us, and we didn't see it as a burden. But it also, I think, helped my parents a lot. So
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that. Yeah, getting your license is a big one, I think. Yeah, same stuff. Just I do remember like wanting to go to the store and things like
Yeah.
that. Just get out of the house for a little
pick up
bit.
trash bags.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah, I think
Me
every
too. I still do it. I drive very slow. Very, very
take
slow.
your time.
You're like, I'm gonna
Take your
run.
time.
So was there a moment for you as the dad where you felt like things kind of changed in your family from what you thought it was going to be to what it was?
Well, it's funny because I forgot about the meeting before the hospital.
That's like one of the
You
core
put that
memories
in
from
mind.
childhood. It's imprinted.
I remember it clearly. We've talked about it, but all these talks I've given, I hadn't remembered that. But that 100%, that was a big one. But yeah, I mean, it's not a particular event, but it's a major dynamic shift in our family. And it's bittersweet. I mean, there's a lot of bitterness to it and some sweet to it, but it's when we stopped out of necessity playing so many sports with the little kids. It's like there was a point, and it was probably around that general time, when we had 8 or 9 kids. But there was a point where Aiden was on a baseball team, Patrick, Peter, Jude, and Paul were all on baseball teams. So we had 5 kids in active baseball teams. Mary was running cross country around the same time. So we had like really 6 kids in sports, and it was just out of control. It was just out of control.
But 6 kids in sports is one thing, but then how many other kids as
In the mix, yeah.
toddlers
That's the
and
problem.
babies?
That's the
right?
problem
Like
is
4
like-
others probably.
So Ashley
Right?
always has a baby at home and a toddler and another little kid. And there's 4 or 5 kids underneath that. So somewhere around that same time, in other words, when we had like 10 or 11 or 12 kids, somewhere in
Yeah.
there.
It was when we moved to Iron Station, which was when the twins were 6 months old. So it was
Okay.
all that year.
You're
basically.
right. That's
Yeah.
kind of and we moved further out. We were not close to a baseball league.
Right.
We're much further out in the middle of nowhere. And I wish my kids still played sports as little kids because it's a ton of fun. And maybe the younger ones, when I'm older and we have less to do, maybe they'll play more sports. But like in the modern family, sports is an all-consuming thing for families. It's every night. It's every weekend. That means you don't have family meals at home. You're not sitting around hanging out and talking at home. You're not sitting out by the fire at night, with the teenagers. Like there's a lot of things that you sacrifice in order to be on the baseball field or the basketball court or the football field basically every night. You sacrifice a lot. So when we kind of gave that up, so in other words, for the first 10 or 12 kids, like when I would come home from work, I'd get kids in the car and then go right back out. That's what sports were, right? Basically every night there was always something. Aiden played basketball. You guys, so now what we've done is we wait till the kids are a little older and they start playing basketball, like rec ball, because their older siblings can drive them. And so it's a little easier now. But we're not on the little league field anymore. And I kind of regret that for David and some of the young and the twins. But they gained so many other things.
Yeah.
Like, so it's a bittersweet thing. But when we stopped doing the rat race of little league sports, I think that everything in our life, the logistics got a whole lot easier. And that's something that's hard to convince families of, because in their mind, like 10 things in sports, out of 10 things in sports, 9 of them are good and 1 of them are bad. But I'm sitting here saying, no, it's like maybe 5 are good and 5 are bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's an opportunity cost that you're not fully appreciating. Like if you didn't have sports, what would you be doing with your time?
Hey, thanks guys for checking out the Conor Gallagher Show. Please take a moment to like, subscribe, or comment, or whatever you got to do to support it. And I appreciate that very much.